we have discussed about the various cloud services offered by Salesforce. And as part of cloud services, we have discussed about the Sales Cloud and the Service Cloud. And as part of Service Cloud, we have discussed what exactly the Service Cloud features and what is the use, and how can we automate the service processes by using the service applications, and what are the various subjects that we are using as part of the service application we have discussed. Now, so as part of Service Cloud, Salesforce is not only offering the service application, they're offering so many additional features also. Like they're offering the 4 features as part of Service Cloud.
Hi, sir. Sir, there is a little bit voice disturbance from your side.
Is it fine now?
Yes, yes. Now it's fine, sir. Thank you.
Okay. No. So as part of Service Cloud, they're not only offering the service application, they're offering some set of features also by default, like the knowledge base and communities, live agent. These also called as omni-channel nowadays. These are also called as chatbots, and the CTI, computer telephony integration. These are the 4 additional features offered by Salesforce as part of Service Cloud. Now let's see each and every feature, what exactly this knowledge base, what is this communities, live agent, CTI, we'll see one by one. Now, so now generally, whenever I'm using any of the product from any of the organization, like for example, assume that we have Dell. Dell is having some millions of customers who are utilizing the Dell products. Whenever, if any of the customer is facing the problem with that product, what he will do, immediately he is raising a complaint. Immediately, they're making a call to the customer care, and then they're going to be raising a complaint. Suppose if more number of people are facing the problem with the product, then more number of complaints will be getting arised. So they're having some millions of customers. So they may be getting some more number of customer complaints per day. But when coming to the Dell, they're having a service team. In that service department, they may be having hardly some 2,000 to 5,000 people max. They may be having maximum of 5,000 service people. But these 5,000 people can solve all the customers' problem in one day? No, it's not possible. Why? Because they're having some millions of customers. If lakhs of complaints has been raised in one day, these 5,000 people can't solve all these problems in one day. It will be taking some time. It may take 2 days also, 3 days also, 1 week also, 10 days also. But till that time, will the customer will wait? No, customer can't wait. He may be having some emergency. He may be having some personal work also, office work also. In this case, the customer will be getting affected. If they're not providing the service on time, then the customer will not be utilizing our products in future. He will be giving some wrong feedback. Because of that, we are losing some credibility in the market. Other people won't show interest. That's what here, what they will do is, they have introduced all these features to reduce the number of complaints. Okay, to reduce the number of complaints, they have introduced all these features. So now each and every feature is going to be providing some channels through which they can able to reduce the number of complaints so that the customer can solve the problem by themselves. How? Let me explain each and every feature. First one, knowledge base. So what do you mean by this knowledge base? Knowledge base is nothing but a platform where so many complaints and their solutions are available. Okay, so many complaints and solutions are available. Like for example, here, it's like as a FAQ questions, like a frequently asked question, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. You will be available. Like the similar way, knowledge base is nothing but a platform maintaining by Salesforce, which is having so many cases and their solutions. Whatever the cases the customer has raised in the past, all the cases and their solutions are available inside this knowledge base. So whenever, if any of the customer is facing some problem, okay, if any of the customer is facing some problem with the product, then don't make a call to the customer care. First of all, go to the knowledge base. Please verify your problem also has been mentioned inside this knowledge base or not. Your problem also has been available inside this knowledge base or not. If available, then please collect the solution. Solution also there inside this knowledge base. Collect that solution. Try to resolve the problem. Okay, so now in this case here, what happened? So customer no need to make a call to the customer care. The customer can get the solution on the spot by visiting this knowledge base. So they can go to the knowledge base. In this knowledge base, so many complaints and the solutions are available. Cases and solutions are available. Whenever you are facing any problem, then no need to make a call to the customer care. Directly go to the knowledge base. In that one, you will be having your problem also, and then there you will be having the solution. Collect the solution, try to resolve your problem. Suppose with that one, with that solution, if your problem has been solved, then fine, no problem, you are happy. Suppose if your problem is not yet solved, still your problem is persisted, then at that time, make a call to the customer care or visit any one of the nearest service center for you. That means what? Customer no need to make a call to the customer care directly. So they can able to get the solution on the spot by visiting this knowledge base. Like for example, let me give you one general scenario. Suppose for example, whenever you need some information, then generally what we can do, we can go to the Google. Immediately we can go to the Google. If it doesn't know the meaning of a specific word, also directly the people are typing in the Google. What is the Google? Google is nothing but a knowledge base which is having so much information inside this. Whatever the information that you're looking for, just you can search in the Google. If the solution is available, then you can use it. If the solution not available, then you can contact your colleagues or your seniors or your relatives, anybody here to get that solution. Like the similar way, no need to make the call to the customer care directly whenever you are facing some problem. First of all, go to the knowledge base. There you will be having the solutions are available. Collect the solution, try to resolve your problem. If the problem is not persisted, then make a call to the customer care. So that what we can do, so now we are redirecting the customer. Previously, what happened, if the customer is facing some problem, directly he is going to be raising a call, making a call to the customer care. But now what we are doing, we are redirecting the customer to the knowledge base over here. So don't make a call to the customer care directly, just go to the knowledge base. In that knowledge base, if the solution not available, then make a call to the customer care, so that we can reduce the number of complaints. That's what here Salesforce has given a feature called as knowledge base. Knowledge means what? So much information is available. The location base means location, so that we can able to collect the solutions from this knowledge base itself. The facility is available over here. Now, the next one. The next feature is communities. So what do you mean by this community? Community is nothing but a platform which is maintaining by Salesforce so that the customers can talk to each other. Customers can talk to each other. Now, as of now, okay, as of now, whenever the customer is facing the problem, sometime before they are making a call to the customer care directly. Now we are going to the knowledge base, we are looking for the solution. Now, and then Salesforce has given one more feature, communities. Okay, communities. So what exactly the community? Now let me explain over here. When coming to the community, community is nothing but a platform. Okay, community is nothing but a platform. So where where the customer can talk to other customers also. The customers can interact with each other. Okay, customers can interact with each other. They can talk to each other. They can share their problems. They can share their solutions. They can share the knowledge also. Everything. It's like as a knowledge. It's like as a communication mechanism maintaining by Salesforce. Like for example, let me give you one general scenario so that you can understand very easily. Now, suppose for example, assume that today I came to the Bangalore. Okay, today I came to the Bangalore. So till now I worked in that Hyderabad location. Because of a new project assignment, they have transferred me to the Bangalore location. So today I came to the Bangalore. Today is the first day in my Bangalore office. So this project will be for next 2 years. So for the next 2 years, I should be in Bangalore. So what we have planned is, I would like to shift my family from Hyderabad to Bangalore. Because my family is there in Hyderabad. So because of a new project assignment, I came to the Bangalore location. So I want to shift my family to Bangalore. So if I want to stay in Bangalore, first of all, we need a flat, right? Yes. I need a 2 BHK flat to stay in Bangalore in so-and-so area. Sometime before what we used to do, sometime before, if we need any flat, then we are contacting some agents. There are some brokers are available, that means some agents are available, or some consultancy people. So we need to contact those people, so that we need to pay some amount to the people, so they will be providing some information about the vacant houses in that particular area. They can able to provide some information about that vacant houses. Nothing but they will be showing that these are the various vacant houses are available here. So not to show that information, they're charging some amount. But nowadays, social media is playing very major role in real life. Social media is playing very major role in real life. So that whenever if you need any information, if you need a flat, then simply, so no need to contact any agent. Simply you can post into your Facebook or into your WhatsApp, into your Instagram, into your Twitter. The people are posting into that Facebook. So now today I came to Bangalore because of my new project assignment. So I'm looking for a 2 BHK flat in so-and-so area in Bangalore. If anybody knows some to-let board, then please share with me. Simply I'm posting inside my Facebook. So whenever I'm posting inside my Facebook, everybody in my contact list will be getting the notification. If any of the person is aware of some to-let board, then he is going to sharing that information. Boss, today I saw a to-let board in nearby my location. So now this is the contact number of the flat owner. So please contact him. That means what? One person has raised the question, second person has given the solution. So we don't need to contact any agent. We don't need to contact any consultancy people to get the information about the vacant flats. So now one person is raising the question, second person is giving the solution. That means what the people are communicating with each other. How? By using a platform. What is that? Facebook or Twitter or WhatsApp or anything, whatever, social media websites. Like the similar way, suppose if you're facing any problem with the product, then no need to raise a complaint directly. Okay, then just to go to the knowledge base. If the solution is available, then fine. If the solution is not available, then look into the community over here. Okay, you can post into the community. Any one of the community person will help you out over here. That means whatever the problem that you're facing, just to post that problem inside this community, then other person will give the solution to you. Other person will give the solution, because here all the customers are on the same platform. All the customers are on the same platform, so that here the customer can talk to other customers also. He can share his problem. Other people can give the solution. He can share his knowledge also. They can share their solutions also over here. So that if I'm providing some communication between the customers, so that customers can talk to each other, so that they can solve their problem by themselves. They can solve the problems by themselves over here. So now here in this case, okay, now here in this case, whenever if you want to provide the communication among the various customers of your organization, then simply we can go with the communities. So communities is a feature which has been given by Salesforce, so that the customers can communicate with each other, so that they can able to share their problems, they can get the solution, they can share their knowledge, they can share the information, whatever they want. So that here what happened, so now if previously if the customer is facing the problem, he is raising a complaint directly, but now he is going to be contacting other people to get the solution, so that nobody is coming to me, so the complaints has been reduced. So these are the various mechanisms they have introduced. Now, the next one, live agent. So what exactly the live agent feature? I think you might be aware of a small feature in most of the applications that is called as live chat. So when you observe most of the websites, in the bottom right corner, of that website, you will be having a small chat feature is available. A chatting feature is available. That is called as a live chat. That live chat feature is also called as live agent in Salesforce. Now, so in this case, when you observe most of the websites, at the bottom right corner, you will be having a small chat window is available that is called as live chat. So now this live chat is also called as live agent. This is also called as omni-channel. These are also called as chatbots. So now what is this live agent feature? What is the use of this? Now, whenever you are facing any problem with the product, okay, then if you want the solution on 24/7, and 24/7. Like for example, if you are making a call, if you are going to the service center will be available during some service timings only. Morning 8 o'clock to evening 8 o'clock. That's it. After that, that will be closed. If you are making some calls to the customer care may not be available on 24/7. So in this case, if you want to get the solutions on 24/7, then we can use this live chat feature or live agent. What do you mean by this live agent feature? Live agent is a feature where the customer can communicate with the service agents. Service agents are also called as the service engineers or service advocates. That means generally we are calling it as service person, okay, service executive, but those people are also called as service engineers or service advocates. So by using this live agent feature, we can have some text-based conversation, okay, with that service agents or the service executives or the service engineers or the service advocates, and then you can explain your problem and they will suggest the solutions also. What are the problem that you're facing on that spot, you can able to have some communication with those people with the help of this live agent application or the live agent feature, so that you can able to have a live chat. We can have a live chat like as a WhatsApp. We can have a live chat with the service engineers, and then you can able to raise your problem. They will suggest the solutions also. So these people will be available on 24/7. Okay, 24/7 and 365 days. So that means on the spot, real time, we can able to make a call. Okay, on the spot, we can able to make a call. That means you can able to have a live chat with the service engineers also, and you can explain the problem, whatever you're facing, and then you can get the solutions also. That facility is available as part of this live agent feature. So this is one of the feature which has been given by Salesforce as part of this service cloud. Next, the fourth one, CTI, computer telephony integration. Then what do you mean by this CTI feature? What do you mean by this computer telephony integration? So now basically this CTI feature is used to have the communication of your Salesforce with telecommunication system. That means in order to make your Salesforce application can communicate with telecommunication systems also. Salesforce application will be interacting with your telecommunication systems also. How? Let me explain. For example, assume that I'm using a mobile network, like suppose for example some Vodafone. So today I'm facing some problem with the mobile network. So immediately I'm making a call to the customer care. If the people are facing some problem with the mobile network, the immediate thing what the people will do is they're making a call to the customer care. So you can make a call to the customer care. One of the customer care executive will receive your call. And then what he will do, immediately he is giving a voice message to you. So now, dear Ramesh Kumar, so please let me know, okay, how can I help you? That means was, for example, the customer name is Ramesh Kumar. So immediately, the customer care executive will give the message. So now, dear Ramesh Kumar, so please let me know how can we help you out? How can we help you? What is your problem? So then we are going to be explaining our problems over here. Now, in this case, now tell me how those people will aware of my name. How those customer care executive will aware of the customer name. Now you can raise a question, sir. We are all our customers of that organization, so they're having our data in their database. Of course, right, correct. I agree with that. But where is the data? The data is inside the database. I made a call to the customer care through my phone. So they have to receive the call, and based on my mobile number, they have to search in the database, right? Based on my mobile number. So now they have to search in the database whether he is our customer or not. To search for that, it will take some time, right? Minimum some 10 to 15 seconds it will take, because those are also human beings. Those are not robots. Those are also the human beings. So it will take some time to search for my name based on my mobile number in their database. But they're not taking the name. They're not taking the time. Whenever I'm giving that call, immediately they're giving my name. Dear Ramesh Kumar, dear Pawan Kumar, okay, dear some Suresh, tell me how can I help you out? How they are giving my name here? How they know my name? In this case, because here, so whatever the application they are using, so at that time, that application is interacting with the telecommunication systems. So here also, what are the Salesforce application that you have? You can integrate that Salesforce application with telecommunication systems also through CTI. Then what is the use of that? Whenever you are making a call, to that particular contact number, then immediately Salesforce will receive that contact number. Okay, Salesforce will receive that contact number. Based on that mobile number, it will go to the contact object. You know, it will go to the contact object. In this contact object, will go to that records. It will verify. So do we have any customer with the contact number, some so and so number? What are the mobile number that you have used to make a call? It will collect that mobile number. Immediately it will go to the contact table. It will verify in the database table. So do we have any customer with this particular contact number or not? If yes, it will be opening that record automatically. If yes, it will be opening that record automatically. And then from there, whatever the conversation that we had, okay, from there, whatever the conversation that we had, everything will be getting recorded. Okay, everything will be getting recorded. The recording conversation will be storing like as a attachment along with your record over here. Everything will be getting recorded automatically. That everything, the recording file will be storing as an attachment along with the record. Now, in this case, what happened? So whenever we are going to making a call, that call is recording by the Salesforce automatically. That means here it is interacting with the telecommunication systems. Whatever the conversation that we had, that conversation will be getting recorded automatically. That will be storing like as an attachment along with your record by default. This is how we can able to automate so many processes, so that not only entering some data, we can able to make my application can interact with some telecommunication systems also. For that one, Salesforce has given these features. See, if it is a sales, that already told you, sales is not important for the organization. Service is very, very important. Service is very, very important. If you are giving the good services, then only the people will stay with you. Suppose if I'm giving the training very well, then only people will join next time. If I'm not giving the training properly, if I'm not explaining the things properly, then next time nobody will join my class. Like the same way, so that service is very, very important. So that always we have to make our customer happy. We have to make our customer satisfied. That is our aim as an organization. Our aim is we have to make our customer satisfied. So now here in this case, as part of the Service Cloud, Salesforce has given so many features. If it is a Sales Cloud, we are having simply sales application. If it is a Service Cloud, we are having service application, we are having knowledge base, we are having communities, we are having live agent, we are having CTI features. So many features have been given by Salesforce by default. So these are the various features has been given by Salesforce by default as part of Service Cloud. Okay, so that in order to automate all the service processes which you are following inside your organization, we are using the help of Service Cloud features. Okay, now next one. The third cloud service is Marketing Cloud. So what is the use of this marketing cloud? Now let's see. So now marketing cloud is especially used to promote your organization product. By using this marketing cloud features, we can promote our organization products or services. We can able to promote our organization products or services. In order to promote your organization products or services, we are going to be using the help of marketing cloud features. Now, so in this case, how can we promote these products over here? How can we promote these products? So now in this case, we are having so many marketing ways are available. Then how can we promote efficiently? Now let me explain. Now, so then how can we promote our products? Now let me explain. So already you are aware of so many ways. Okay, like we are aware of the campaigns, stalls, TV advertisements, like that so many. But suppose, for example, if I'm using those ways, we can promote that products within a specific area only. We can give the advertisement in a specific area only. We can conduct the campaign in only some specific areas only. But my products are mobiles. Who can use the mobiles? Everybody in the entire world. Not only in Hyderabad, not only in the Bangalore, not only in India, in every country, the people can use my mobiles. Then how can we promote my products in the entire world? If it is a banking, so they will be having some millions of customers in the entire world. They will be having some millions of customers also. Now, in this case here, how can we promote over here? So in this case here, so during to promote these products efficiently, sometime before we have, we have two products in the market. We have two tools. Okay, we have two tools are there in the market here. First one is Marketo. Marketo is a third-party tool. Marketo is a third-party tool which is used to promote the products, nothing but for that marketing. In order to do the marketing, the people are using a software called as Marketo. Second one, Exact Target. Exact Target. Why? Because is when Salesforce has introduced their cloud services at that time, initially they have only two cloud services. Like they have the Sales Cloud services, Service Cloud features. Only the Sales Cloud, Service Cloud. They don't have Marketing Cloud. But now they have Marketing Cloud also. I'm explaining the background story of this Marketing Cloud feature. Sometime before, we don't have the Marketing Cloud feature in Salesforce. At that time, how the people are doing the marketing? The people are using the various marketing channels. But if you want to promote your product in the entire world, the people are using the Marketo or Exact Target. But these tools are using by very, very big organizations only, like CloseUp, Colgate, Johnson & Johnson, like that only some Lakme, like that only some international organizations, international products. So these people are using these particular tools because they are having a brand name in the market. They're having the brand name in the market. Those are very, very big organizations. They're having some millions of customers. They're generating huge revenue. So those people can able to buy the license of this marketing tool or Exact Target tool. So only the big organizations are using these tools because these are on-premise. These are on-premise. The two, if you want to use this tool, then first of all, we have to buy the license. If you want to use this tool to in order to promote your products, you have to buy the license of this tool first. But these licenses are very, very expensive, very, very costly. These products are very, very costly, very, very expensive. So in this case, what we can do? So for that one, very few people are using these tools. Very, very few people are using these tools. So remaining people are going with the remaining ways of marketing channels. So the people are facing difficulties to do the marketing in the international market. That's what here Salesforce got an idea. Why can't we introduce the marketing cloud features also to the customers on rental basis. So Salesforce people got an idea. As of now, we are offering Sales Cloud features, Service Cloud features. Then why can't we introduce Marketing Cloud features also? So in this case, they have decided to provide the Marketing Cloud features also. But if they want to develop the complete features to promote the products, it will take some time. It will be taking some 1 year to 2 years max to develop the complete software. Okay, for the Marketing Cloud, it will take some 1 to 2 years of time. But in these 2 years of time, market may be changed, technology may be changed, marketing processes may be changed. So for that one here, they can't wait that much of time. They don't want to invest the 2 years of time. For that one, they got decided, instead of building that software from the scratch, why can't we buy any one of this software? Why can't we acquire any one of this organization? Okay, why can't we acquire any one of this organization? It may be Marketo, it may be ExactTarget. Here, why can't we buy the complete copyright license of this tool? So that Salesforce has acquired this organization ExactTarget. So that Salesforce people has acquired this ExactTarget organization, and then whatever the tool they have. So now in this tool, they did so many enhancements. On top of this tool, they did so many enhancements, and finally they have converted this tool from on-premise to on-demand, and then they have added this tool as part of this Marketing Cloud. Okay, that means Salesforce people has acquired this organization ExactTarget, and then on this ExactTarget tool, they got the complete copyright license, and on the tool, they did so many enhancements, they have added so many additional features also, and finally they have mixed this tool inside this Marketing Cloud features. So from Salesforce, Marketing Cloud means what? ExactTarget, simple concept. Okay, from Salesforce, Marketing Cloud means ExactTarget. So now here in this case, as part of this Marketing Cloud, Salesforce has given so many features by default over here. As part of this Marketing Cloud, Salesforce has given so many features. Like they have given the basic application called as marketing application. Okay, marketing application, in order to automate all the campaigns information, leads information, and the contracts information, orders information, everything we can able to automate by using this marketing application. Now, so they have given that application called as marketing application. Okay, they have given that application called as marketing application. Along with that, Salesforce has given the various features as part of this Marketing Cloud. Like they have given that Email Studio. Email Studio. So what exactly the Email Studio feature? Email Studio feature is used to send the email notifications to the millions of people in one shot. Like for example, assume that we have the banking organization. Today, we are introducing a new loan feature. Okay, we are introducing a new loan feature here. So in this case, how can we provide? How can we promote? How can we send this new loan information to the various people? Or else we're introducing a new credit card. We're introducing a new credit card. Then regarding that credit card, how can we send the information to so many people? So that here, if you want to send the notification to the millions of people in one shot, we are using this Email Studio. So Email Studio is a feature which is used to do the email marketing from Salesforce. Now, the second one. The second one is Mobile Studio. So what is the use of this Mobile Studio? Mobile Studio is a feature which is used to have some automated calls to the customers. In order to have some automated calls to the customers, we are using the help of this Mobile Studio. Like for example, every day you are receiving so many calls regarding, okay, from the mobile network people. Okay, from the mobile network people. There is some voice calls are available regarding some credit card applications. Okay, you are having some pre-approved loans like that. You will be receiving some automated calls from the various banks and the financial organizations. Like the similar way, if you want to promote your products to that by making through the mobile calls, then we can go with that Mobile Studio. But in this case, if I'm going to be giving the calls to the people are going to be very clever nowadays. People are using an application like as Truecaller. By using the Truecaller application, they're identifying who is the sender, nothing but who is that person who is making that call. Now, so now here in this case here, okay, now here in this case. So now in this case, the people are going to be simply verifying who is that person who is making that call. Based on that, if he is an important person, they will pick up the call, or else they will disconnect the call. So in this case, what we can do? The people are very clever nowadays, so that they are going to be disconnecting my call directly. For that one, Salesforce has given a feature called as SMS Studio. Okay, SMS Studio. So from this one, people can't escape. Okay, people can't escape. Even though, okay, they may be looking into that, okay, mobile also. So directly we can send some SMS notifications also to the people. So now SMS Studio is a feature which is used to send some SMS notification to promote your products. In order to promote your products, if you want to send some SMS notifications, then we can able to use that SMS Studio feature. Now, along with that, so now in this case, nowadays the people are going to be enabling some DND feature, do not disturb feature, so that SMS also will not be delivering. Because why? Because the people are spending most of their time with the social media, like as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, like that social media here. So most of the time they're spending with the social media, so that Salesforce has introduced a feature called as Social Studio. Social Studio. By using this Social Studio, we can able to give the advertisements, okay, through the social media as well. Through the social media also, we can able to give the advertisements also. That facility is available, okay, as part of this Social Studio feature. Now, so after that, when coming to the Salesforce, they have given a feature called as Journey Builder. Journey Builder. So Journey Builder is a feature which is used to synchronize the data, okay, which is used to synchronize the data between Marketing Cloud to Sales Cloud. Okay, between the Marketing Cloud to Sales Cloud, if you want to synchronize the data, then we are using a feature called as Journey Builder. These are the various features which has been given by Salesforce. Okay, these are the various features which has been given by Salesforce, okay, as part of this Marketing Cloud. These are the various features which has been given by Salesforce as part of this Marketing Cloud over here. Now, so now here in this case, as part of this Marketing Cloud, we are having the various features available. So we have Marketo tool is available, third-party tool, and then Exact Target here. Like that, we have Pardot also. Pardot is also one of the marketing automation tool, which is available in the market recently. But initially, we have only Marketo and then Exact Target. Now, Exact Target is no more. Now, Exact Target is no more. Why? Because Salesforce has acquired this Exact Target tool and they have converted into their Marketing Cloud feature over here. Okay, now. So these are the various features has been introduced by Salesforce as part of Marketing Cloud. Now, next one. The next feature is App Cloud. So what do you mean by this App Cloud feature? What is the use? App or application cloud. So as of now, we have discussed Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud. As part of CRM, Salesforce has given that sales, service, and the marketing automation features. As of now, Salesforce has given that sales related features, service related features, marketing related features, okay, for your business. Sometimes you can raise a question, sir, I am into banking sector. I want some banking automation applications. I'm into manufacturing. I want manufacturing automation application. I'm into finance. I want financial automation application. I am pharmaceutical. I'm into pharmaceutical. I want pharmaceutical automation application. Then what we can do? But Salesforce is not offering all. They're offering Salesforce CRM, but I want banking application. I want finance application. I want marketing application. I want some manufacturing application, consulting application. I want different applications. Then what we can do? In this case, Salesforce has given a feature called as App Cloud or Application Cloud. So by using this App Cloud or Application Cloud, we can able to build our own custom applications. We can build our own custom applications. We can build our own custom applications like banking, finance, insurance, healthcare, pharmaceutical, consulting, construction. Like that, whatever the application that you want, we can build your own custom applications also. So whatever the application that you want, all these applications we can able to build. That facility is available to you, so that whenever if you want to build your own custom applications, we are using this App Cloud or Application Cloud. Now, in this case, if you want to develop the application, then we need some programming languages, right? Yes. We need some databases, right? Yes. Then Salesforce is offering as part of this App Cloud, so that Salesforce is providing Force.com platform and database.com. Force.com platform and database.com. So now what is this Force.com platform that already you are aware of? Force.com is a platform. Okay, Force.com is a platform which provides a collection of services. Provides a collection of services. A collection of services to develop the custom applications. Okay, it is providing a collection of services to develop the custom applications. To develop the custom applications. Whatever the custom applications that you want, we can develop all these custom applications. Okay, we can develop all these custom applications with the help of this Force.com platform. So as part of this Force.com platform, what kind of programming languages that we have? We have two programming languages. We have two programming languages. First one is Apex programming that already we have discussed in our initial class, first class also we have discussed, in the demo class also we have discussed. Second one, Visual Force programming. Visual Force programming. So as part of this Force.com platform, Salesforce has given two programming languages, because upon developing your own custom applications, then we have to write some code. We have to develop some business logics. We have to design some screens. For that reason, Salesforce is providing two programming languages as part of this Force.com platform. First one is Apex programming. Second one is Visual Force programming. First one is Apex programming. Second one is Visual Force programming. So what is this Apex programming? Apex programming is used to build the business logic. In order to build the business logic, we are using this Apex programming. Like for example, assume that I have a screen. Let me open a screen, for example, anything. So now assume that I'm going to that Naukri. I'm searching for some jobs. I'm searching for some jobs over here. So what jobs? Salesforce related jobs. So that I'm entering some Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce developer, which is in some Hyderabad location. Now, after entering this technical skills and the location, when you click on this search button, it is searching the jobs, right? How? Because of some business logic. Behind this button control, it is going to be executing some business logic. That business logic will be searching for the data, and we can see the results over here. What are the jobs are available on Salesforce in Hyderabad location? We can able to see all those jobs information also over here. How it is searching? Because of some business logic. Now, so in this case here, if you want to apply for any of the jobs, then we can able, if you want to log in, then you can click on login here. After entering your username and the password, when you click on login button, it is validating your credentials or not. Yes, it is verifying whether your username and the password is correct. How it is validating? Because of some business logic. So behind every button control, you will be having some business logic like that. If you want to develop any business logic in your application, then we have to use Apex programming. So Apex programming is used to build your own custom business logic over here, which can be used to perform some operations. Second one, Visualforce programming. What do you mean by Visualforce programming? Visualforce programming is used to design the user interfaces. It is used to design the user interfaces. Visualforce programming is used to design the user interfaces. So what are the user interfaces that we need? We can design all those user interfaces with the help of Visualforce programming. So with the help of this Visualforce programming, we can design our own user interfaces. Like as user interfaces means what? Some screens, okay, some screens. Like when you click on register now, it is providing some screen over here. Okay, like I'm a professional. It is providing some user interface, some screen. So how they are designing the screen? Because of Visualforce programming. Through Visualforce programming, we can design like this. The screens also we can design. That facility is available over here. What are the screens that you want? Personal information, employment information, education. To enter all this data, we need some user interfaces here. We need some screens. Those screens we can design by using Visualforce programming. So Visualforce programming is for the user interface design. Apex programming is for business logic. Now, so now here in this case, you can raise the question. Sir, after entering some data, when I click on some save button, it is saving my record because of business logic. Then where it will save? In which database? What is the database for Salesforce? Salesforce is using its own database called as the database.com. Database.com is a customized database of Salesforce. Like some, as of now in IT industry nowadays, if anybody is working on some other programming languages like as Java, .NET, okay, any other programming languages, whether whenever they're working on the project, if anybody asks, okay, what is the database for your project, they're saying that like Oracle or SQL Server. Because Oracle and the SQL Server are the two most popular databases that we have in IT industry nowadays. For Java applications, .NET applications, the people are using either Oracle database or SQL Server database or MySQL. Okay, like that, so many databases are there. But Salesforce is not using these databases. Salesforce is using their own database that is called as a database.com. Database.com is a customized database of Salesforce. It's their own. It's their own. It's not Oracle, it's not SQL Server, it's the Salesforce own database, where exactly all your data will get resides. So by using this application, by using the sales application, service application, marketing application, by using the finance application, banking application, insurance application, whatever the data that you are going to store, the whole data will be storing inside the database.com. So what do you mean by this database.com? Database.com is a customized database of Salesforce. It is a customized database. It is a customized database of Salesforce. It is a customized database of Salesforce where exactly the Salesforce application data will get resides. Data will get resides. Okay, so what are the data that we are storing through your Salesforce applications? Like it may be sales application, service application, marketing application, your banking application, finance application. What are the application that you have created through that application? What are the data that you have stored? The data is going to be storing inside the database.com. The data is going to be storing inside that database.com because this is a customized database of Salesforce. So where is this database.com, which is in Salesforce server, not in our local system? We no need to install anything. So Salesforce database.com is available inside that Salesforce server. Where it is available? Somewhere in UK, US, Germany, Japan, somewhere, I don't know. We don't know that information here because here Salesforce is maintaining a cloud database here. It's a cloud database. Database.com is a cloud database where exactly we can store some information, we can retrieve the information also whenever we need. Upon needed, we can able to collect this information from the database.com. Based on your requirement, we can fetch the data also. We can store some data also inside this. Now, so in this case, you can raise a question. Sir, if I'm storing the data in my local database, then it is a confident to me, it is an assurance to me that my data is safe. Because the data is storing inside the server is there in my business, inside my organization. So I can able to assure that my data is safe. But Salesforce is storing the data in somewhere in their Salesforce server. Database.com is available in somewhere in the Salesforce server side. It may be in US, UK, Germany, Japan, somewhere it is storing that. Then what is the guarantee to me that my data is safe? If I'm storing the data through my Salesforce application, the data will store inside the database.com. Database.com is there somewhere inside the Salesforce server. Then what is the guarantee to me that my data is safe? How can we assure that? As a customer, I'm having some doubt. I need some assurance. Then how can we show how Salesforce is giving the assurance to their customers? So in this case, Salesforce is going to be giving the assurance to the customers by maintaining the two certification for this database.com. Database.com is having the two certifications. Database.com is having two certifications. The first one is ISO 27001 certification. ISO 27001 certification. Second one is SAS 70 compliance type 2 certification. SAS 70 compliance type 2 certification. So now these two certifications are mainly concentrating on information security and confidentiality. Information security and the confidentiality. So whenever I'm going to be using this database.com, database.com is a cloud database which is maintaining the Salesforce, where all your Salesforce related data will be getting resides. So database.com is giving the assurance to you that your data is safe. No need to worry about your data. Okay, we are going to be protecting your data from the unauthorized people, from the hackers. Nobody can touch your data without your permission. Like as a locker. If I'm placing my valuable items inside the locker, that is safe. Nobody can touch my items without my permission. I am the only person who can unlock that locker. Only I can open the locker. I can able to utilize the item. Remaining people can't use because my data, my items are safe. Like the similar way, Salesforce is giving the assurance to you. Salesforce is giving the guarantee to you that your data is safe because we are going to be maintaining the two certification for this database. First one is ISO 27001. Second one SAS 70 compliance type 2. Now, these two certifications are giving the assurance to you that these two are mainly concentrating on information security and the confidentiality. That means whatever the data that is stored inside the database.com, it is maintaining the security properly, it is maintaining the confidentiality. That means your data cannot be accessible by any other people, your data cannot be misutilized by other people also. That much of assurance, that much of guarantee is given by the Salesforce people to their customers. That's what here, so many people are using Salesforce nowadays. Initially, when Salesforce has introduced their services, banking people didn't use Salesforce. Banking people didn't use Salesforce. Why? Because banking data is very, very confidential, very, very sensitive. If one digit is missing, then data will be lost. Suppose in your balance, assume that I'm having the balance 10,000. In my bank account, my balance is 10,000. Suppose if one digit has been missed, it is showing like as 1,000. Will you accept that? No. In this case, what you will do, you will be giving some wrong feedback. You will be giving some wrong feedback to other people also, because this bank people are not maintaining the application properly. So now our amount is not safe. Then second time, will you invest the money in that bank? No. Other people will trust? No. They will lose the credibility in the market here. That's what here. So now Salesforce is going to be giving the assurance to the customer, our database is safe. We are giving the assurance to you. Don't need to worry about your data. We are the responsible persons. We are the responsible persons. We are providing the data very safely to you. Your data can't be touched by any other people without your permission. Because database.com is having the 2 certifications. That means here, these 2 certifications are given by the audit people. Audit people will verify this database.com, whether it is giving the proper security for the data or not, whether it is protecting the data from the hackers or not. They're verifying the complete auditing. Based on that only, they will be giving the certifications over here. Now, in this case, database.com is a safe database where exactly your data will get resides, your records, your documents, everything will be getting resides inside this database.com. Now, so now in this case, you can raise a question. Sir, suppose for example, you said that, so now database.com is very safe. It is having the proper security mechanisms are available. Nobody can touch your data. Nobody can hack my data. Then fine, I'm agree with that. Suppose if this entire database.com server has been crashed because of some environmental problems, like some earthquakes, because of some tsunamis, the entire database server has been crashed, then what about that my data? Who is responsible for my data? If somebody is hacking the data, then Salesforce is responsible. Fine, okay, I agree with that. But they're maintaining the proper security. I'm also agree with that here. Suppose if because of some environmental problems, nobody can expect the environmental problems over there. Nobody can stop that. Like a tsunamis, earthquakes, can we expect? No. Can we stop? No. Then at this kind of situation, because of some earthquakes, because of some tsunamis, if that entire database.com server has been crashed, then who is responsible? In this case also, Salesforce is giving that assurance to you, no need to worry about your data. Even though if my entire database server has been crashed, I'm the responsible person. How? Because here we are having a disaster recovery mechanism. Salesforce is having this disaster recovery centers in 3 regions over here. In North America region, in Europe region, in Asia Pacific region. In all these 3 regions, Salesforce is maintaining some backup servers. If one server has been crashed, second server will up automatically. Disaster recovery mechanisms are available over here. So Salesforce is giving the assurance to the customers, if your data has been lost, then I am the responsible person. If my entire server has been lost, if my entire server has been crashed because of the environmental problems, I am responsible. Already we have disaster recovery centers in place. Already we have disaster recovery centers are available. So now with that one, we will get back to you each and every bit of data back. Each and bit of data back. That means there is no chance of losing the data, even though one character also will not miss, one digit also will not miss. Complete data we are providing to you back. That much of security mechanisms we have in place. So that here, because of this kind of database, because of this kind of security features only, nowadays each and every banking organization is using Salesforce. Previously, banking people didn't show interest to use Salesforce, but now every banking company, every banking organization, it may be ICICI, Axis, it may be like us, you will be having the Dutch Bank, it may be Scotia Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, each and every banking organization is using Salesforce nowadays. When you go to the financial organizations also, financial people, everybody is using Salesforce nowadays because Salesforce is giving very good, excellent facilities to their customers. They're giving good services to their customers. That's what here, so many people are using Salesforce nowadays. That's what we are having, the huge demand for Salesforce nowadays. Now, so in this case, as part of this application cloud, Salesforce is providing that Force.com platform, and they're providing Database.com over here. Database.com is a customized database of Salesforce where exactly all your data will get resides. Your documents, your files, your records, the whole information will be getting resides inside that database.com, where this database.com is exactly a safe place where our data cannot be touched by any other people. Other people can't misutilize your data. Other people can't touch your data without your permissions. Salesforce is providing that much of security mechanisms to you over here. That's what here so many people are utilizing database.com to store their business related data or organization related data also. Okay, now the next one. The next one, data.com. Data.com. So what do you mean by this data.com over here? Now let me explain. Sometime before, we have an organization in US. In US, we have an organization with the name Jigsaw. Jigsaw is an organization which is a US-based organization. So now this organization has developed one software. These people has built an application that is also called as Jigsaw. The name of the organization and the name of the application both are same. Now they're having this organization with the name Jigsaw. In US, we have a company with the name Jigsaw, and then this company is using one software that is also called as Jigsaw. So now what these people will do basically here, what data they're storing inside this application, when coming to the Jigsaw organization, they are doing the various surveys. They're conducting the various surveys through their agents. Okay, through their agents. They have their agents in the entire worldwide. Okay, with the help of these agents, they're conducting the various surveys. Through these surveys, they're collecting the information about the various people, and they're collecting the information about the various organizations. They're collecting the information about the various people, and they're collecting the information about the various organizations also. That means so many individual people's information and the organization's information they're collecting over here. So now by collecting this information, what they're going to do, this information they're storing inside their database. What are the data they have collected, what are the people's information, organizations information they have collected through their surveys, all this information they're storing inside their application called as Jigsaw. They're storing all this information inside an application called as Jigsaw. Then why they're conducting these surveys? What is the use? Why they're collecting this data? What they're going to do with this data? Now let me explain. So in this case, everybody is having this question, sir, why these people are conducting the surveys, why they're collecting the people's information, organizations information, what they're going to do with this data now. Now, in this case, when coming to these people, they're collecting the data by using their various surveys, the whole data they're storing inside their Jigsaw application, and this data they're selling out to the various business people for their business needs. What are the data they have collected? Now, this data they're selling out to the various business people. They will sell the data to the various business people. Business people for their business needs. So what are the data they have collected? This data they are going to selling out to the various business people for their business needs. Now, So now here in this case here, okay, now that means what? These people are investing the huge amount to conduct the various surveys, and then the data they are selling out to the various business people. Why they are selling out this data to the business people? Now let me explain. Suppose, for example, it's a common scenario. Everybody is aware of this. Every day you are receiving so many calls from the various banks, from the various real estate people, from the various insurance companies, from the various financial organizations, like regarding credit cards, regarding open plots, regarding insurance policies, regarding loans. You are receiving so many calls every day. That means you are receiving the calls from the banking people, financial people, insurance people, real estate people. So in this case, now tell me how those people will aware of your mobile number? How those people are aware of your mobile number? Have you shared that number to all those people? No, right? Then how these people will aware of your mobile number? How they're giving the card to you regarding the credit cards, regarding open plots, regarding personal loan, how they're contacting you? How those people will know your mobile number? Because those people are going to be collecting your mobile numbers from mobile network people. Because of course you are using any mobile network, Jio also, Airtel also, Vodafone also. Upon taking that SIM card, you are going to be filling some application and you are submitting the data to the mobile network people, right? Yes. Mobile network people are going to be collecting your data, they're storing in the database, they're selling out this data to the various business people, to banking people, insurance people, okay, real estate people. So many people that are going to be selling out this data. Because of that, they're generating some revenue. Here also, same concept. Suppose nowadays, if you're starting a new business, if you're not starting a new organization, then what we need to do? We need to do some marketing. So now we have to do some marketing by using the various marketing channels. And then we can collect some leads information. Okay, we can collect some leads information. The people who are interested, we can collect those leads information over here. So for that one, it will take some time, right? To do the advertisements, to conduct some stalls, to conduct some campaigns. It will take some time, right? Yes. But nowadays, the people are not investing that much of time. They would like to collect that leads information very fastly. For that one, we no need to contact, we no need to conduct any marketing channel. We can able to buy the data by contacting this Jigsaw. We can contact the Jigsaw people, we can buy the contact numbers, we can buy the email IDs, and then we can able to send the email notification, make a calls, everything. That means what? Without conducting any marketing channels, without conducting any marketing way, without wasting the money on marketing, directly we can able to collect, we can able to buy this data from the Jigsaw people, we can make a call to the people directly. This is a major benefit, so that we can reduce the time to do the marketing. We can reduce that investment to do the marketing over here, so that very fastly we can able to promote. Now, in this case, what happened? We can able to buy that data, whatever the mobile numbers that you want, whatever the email IDs that you want, we can buy from Jigsaw here. We can pay some money to the Jigsaw people, we can buy it, and then we can send the notifications, we can make a call to the people also. Very short format we can able to do. This is the effective way of marketing. So in this case here, how can we buy this data over here? Now, in this case, almost 7 years back, Salesforce people has acquired this Jigsaw organization. 7 years back, Salesforce people has acquired this Jigsaw organization, and from there they have changed the name from Jigsaw to Data.com. Okay, Data.com. So now Data.com is one of the major business area for Salesforce. Data.com is one of the major business area for Salesforce. So that they're collecting the data from the various people and the various organizations. They're going to selling out this data to the business people for their business needs. Now, in this case, how can we buy the data over here? If you want to buy the data from the Data.com, Data.com is providing 2 licenses over here. Data.com licenses. You can buy the data through online also. Okay, you can buy the data through online. So if you're having any data.com branch in your city, you can go to that branch, you can buy the data also. Like when you go to the data.com, they have so many branches in the entire world. In Hyderabad also we have a branch. Okay, in Hyderabad also we have a branch with the name because a D&B company. D&B company, which is in Somajiguda. Okay, which is in Somajiguda in Hyderabad. They're having a company with the name D&B company, which is a branch of data.com. We can contact this organization, we can visit that organization personally, we can explain your business scenario, we can do the necessary agreements also, and then you can buy the data by paying the money to that company. Suppose if you don't have any branch in your city, or if you want to buy the data regularly, then at that time we can buy the data through online also by using data.com licenses. So as part of this data.com, we have two licenses are available. First one is data.com prospector license. Second one, data.com clean license. First one is data.com prospector license. Second one is data.com clean license. So these are the two licenses given by Salesforce. By using these licenses, we can buy the data from data.com through online. Without visiting that branch, through online itself, we can able to buy the data over here. Now, so in this case, how can we buy? Okay, now let me explain. So whenever if you want to buy the data by using this from the data.com, so here as part of this data.com, we are having the first license called as data.com prospector license. Data.com prospector license is used to buy the prospects information and organizations information. In order to buy the leads information, nothing but people's information and the organization's information, we are using this data.com prospector license. What are the data that you want to buy? You want to buy the people's information or only the company's information? Depends upon your requirement. We can buy by using data.com prospector license. And then second one is by using this data.com clean license, we can able to synchronize the latest information. Synchronize the latest updates into our local server. Okay, what are the latest updates related to this people's information and the organization's information? We can collect the latest updates information, and then that latest information we can able to store inside our local server also with the help of this data.com clean license. So in order to store this data, it is using two tables here. Okay, we have the two tables. Two tables are objects. To store all the people's information, okay, to store all the people's information, it is using an object. Okay, it is using a table called as data cloud contact. Okay, this is the table name. So now they're using a table called as data cloud contact. Data cloud contact is an object in which all the people's information will get resides. All the organization's information. All the organization's information is available inside an object called as data cloud company. Data cloud company is a table in which all the organization's information is available. That means people's information is storing inside the data cloud contact table. Organization's information is available inside the data cloud company table over here. These are the two objects are available in data.com. Okay, this is the information about data.com. We have two more cloud services. These are very, very simple. We'll see in tomorrow's session. And along with that, tomorrow we are going to be discussing about the features called as releases of Salesforce. How frequently Salesforce is providing the new releases. Along with that, we are discussing about the various server instances of Salesforce. What are the various server instances are available? And then we will discuss about a feature called as multi-tenant architecture. multi-tenant architecture and what are the various benefits of multi-tenant architecture. We'll see this concept in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll continue with these features. We'll go with the collaboration cloud and Einstein platform, and then we'll see the concept of releases, server instances, and the multi-tenant architecture. And then day after tomorrow, we'll see how to create our own Salesforce account, which is a lifetime account. We'll see practically in day after tomorrow's session. From there, we'll enter into the practical part. Okay.